and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new, welcome. I'm Bree. So how have y'all been doing this week? I mean, Grant, what's today? I don't know what day of the week it is. Almost the weekend. Fun. No fun for me though, cause guess who has to work? I do. The joys. But no, it's been like 2 weeks, I think, since I last talked to y'all, and I am so sorry. I am a flop. But what happened was I went to the Something in the Water festival, which was freaking amazing. Like, literally a movie. Everything I could have asked for, plus more. It was amazing. But you see, what happened was when I came back from the festival, I don't know if it was my allergies or if I got sick. I really don't know. But I came down with like a little something. I mean, I guess sleeping under a hotel AC for 3 days in a row. Like directly underneath the AC for 3 days. Probably wasn't good for my life, but I mean, heck, what you want me to do about it? But I'm back. I'm excited. Can't wait for next year's though. It was so great. It was literally amazing. But for today's video, I'm gonna be watching a scary video. Cause like I'm trying to get my life together. Like I'm trying to, not be a scaredy pants all the time. And like I love scary stuff, so I don't understand why these scary videos been catching me off guard lately and been like destroying my whole life. Cause like, I don't know. But today we're gonna watch a scary video called, if I can read correctly, Creepy. Oh God, bear with me. Okay, it's called Creepy True Out at Sea Horror Stories. So, another one of my fears. Well, not really a fear. I mean, I don't know, I guess. Like, the ocean is kind of terrifying. Like, you don't know what's out there. It's very vast and open and like, so I don't know, like big bodies of water are kind of terrifying, but at the same time, I love the ocean. I don't know. I'm really weird. I'm weird. But yeah. So that's what we're watching today. And yeah, let's see what these stories are gonna be about. Hopefully I don't have a mental breakdown like last time. So yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm already nervous. Oh, I say, wait, how many of these stories are there gonna be? Oh God. Oh my God. I'm already, okay, I'm fine. Oh my God. I was so stressed out for a second. Okay.
During my time when I was in high school, my dad worked as a captain for a ship, which I forget the name of, but I do know that it was a cargo ship of some type. He has done this for quite some time, mainly because he actually enjoyed his job. Him and his crew would sail from the US to other countries to deliver goods and supplies. I don't know how to exactly put it, but it was similar to the movie Captain Phillips. Anyway, my dad and his crew were ordered to deliver supplies to a small isolated island known as Tasmania, just off the coast of South Australia. My dad and his crew were sailing from Mississippi, so it would take at least a week for them to arrive there, including stopping at other countries for fuel. One night, they were about halfway into their destination when one of the crew members yelled for my dad from the back of the ship. My dad, being the helping person he was, went over to the back of the ship to see what his crew member needed. His crew member told my dad something that sent a shiver down his spine. He said that he was looking out at the water and saw something big moving near the surface of the water. It was dark out and was raining, so he couldn't exactly see as to what it was. My dad thought that it was probably just a whale or something. That's when the crew member got on a spotlight and shined the big bright light at the water about 10 feet away from the ship. The water began to move, but my dad described the water moving as forming into some sort of whirlpool. That's when 3 or maybe 4 flippers from obviously some sort of creature came up from the water and immediately went back down. As it went down, the crew heard the creature make some sort of strange and unsettling sound. It apparently also had a long neck, but my dad never saw as to what its head looked like. The creature, whatever it was never seen again by my dad or his crew, but my dad described the creature as being rare and extremely territorial. I know the story sounds hard to believe, especially when it's told from my point of view, but if you think about it, only 5% of our oceans have been discovered, so if he witnessed a creature from another era, then I wouldn't find it hard to believe.
Okay, chill. I've heard that before too, and that's terrifying. Alright, starting off strong. I'm already terrified. Alright, it's fine. Loch Ness Monster. No big deal. It's cool. Totally fine.
It was the middle of spring of 2016, and at this time I was in my senior year of high school. High school was a pain in the neck for me, especially senior year. All of my teachers gave tons of homework as well as classwork throughout the school year. Needless to say, I was constantly busy doing homework for hours a day, even on weekends when I had free time. Therefore, it's been a struggle ever since. My parents were strict about it and would either disconnect my phone or give me some other form of punishment if my grades dropped, so I was on top of my assignments all the time. One day at lunch, one of my friends, David, said that his older cousin who owned a yacht would be taking the boat out to go fishing over the weekend and asked me and my other friend if we wanted to go. I said that I would let him know, but not to get his hopes up as I might be busy with homework. A nice trip on a boat sounded fantastic. It would give me an opportunity to get away from all the stress and actually do something enjoyable. Once Friday came around, I of course had a crap ton of homework, but I only knew that if I didn't get it done that there would be hell to pay. Therefore, after about 5 hours that night, I got it all done and asked my parents if I could go on the boat. My parents knew my friends as well as their parents, but they didn't know who the cousin was, but they allowed me to go as long as I 1. Kept in touch with them if or when I had service, 2. Not to ask for anything, and 3. Not to do any drugs or drink any alcohol.
Not to ask
By
for
now,
anything.
you get how my parents were, so I agreed and they let me go. David picked me and my other friend up, and we drove over to his cousin's house. David's cousin's house was amazing, and you could obviously tell that they were wealthy just by looking at the house. It was me,
he has a yacht
David,
in high
David's
school,
cousin,
so-
and my other friend going on the boat. David's cousin told me that we wouldn't be going too far out because the radar in his boat was broken and that it would be difficult to find our way back. That night, we all
I'm
packed up
good.
and sailed
I'm
about
not
10 to
going.
15 miles offshore. It doesn't sound far, but once we reached the 15-mile mark,
That
we were
sounds
surrounded
kinda
by
far.
water in all directions. All we could see was water, no land for miles. By now, the sun was starting to set, and we only had a good hour before it got dark, so David and his cousin were gonna cook some steak on the grill. In the meantime, he offered us a few beers to drink until dinner was ready. I remember what my parents had said, but this was the weekend I was off, and I figured that I deserved at least one beer. Fast forward about an hour later, we finished dinner and start getting ready for bed. David, his cousin, and my other friend went to bed almost immediately as they did end up drinking a lot of alcohol. Me, on the other hand, had only drank one beer can, so I was up playing some video games on my phone that I had pre-downloaded. I'm not the type of guy who plays video games, in fact I rarely do, so the only reason as to why I was playing was because I was constantly bored with nothing to do. After a while, I was finally starting to get tired and fell asleep after a short while. However, I was awoke to a noise from outside of the boat. I immediately went to go outside to check and was shocked to see what the noise was. There was a small little canoe that had hit the bow of our boat. Questions immediately jumped into mind as I stared at it. 1. We're out in the middle of the ocean with no land for miles, so it wouldn't make sense for there to be a canoe this far out at sea. And 2, it was also suspicious that there was no one in it. The only thing in it were some empty beer bottles and some fishing gear. I decided that I had to tell the others about this and proceeded to walk over to their rooms. However, I stopped dead in my tracks when I heard David scream at something. I quickly ran over to his room and tackled the intruder who was in the room with him. I struggled with him for a bit, but he unfortunately managed to get away and hop into his little boat, which apparently had a motor that I didn't somehow see. However, David's cousin said that he saw a news report about a man going around people's boats and potentially murdering them while they slept. We are still unsure as to who this man was or what he wanted, but if he was sneaking on our boat, chances are he wasn't just planning on robbing us.
If you saw that news report, why would you stay overnight on a boat in the ocean? Like, no. Oh my god.
This story happened to me and my dad when I was around the age of 13. My dad has been a fisherman for most of his life,
What?
ever since he was a kid.
What is this?
He enjoyed the sport and liked
What
catching
is this?
fish, and of course, having some for dinner if the size was right. Years later, it was now my dad's responsibility to take care of me, as my mom left us for reasons I won't go into. We still don't know where she is till this day. Anyway, as soon as I turned 12, I'd always go out on his boat fishing with him, anywhere from 2 to 3 days if I didn't have school. My dad has a really nice boat, so it was okay to sleep in for a few nights as long as everything went according to plan. We mostly go fishing every other weekend out on the boat and constantly catch tons of fish for us to eat and for him to make a decent living. However, I do remember this one trip we took that my dad and I will never forget. I say never forget as this was possibly the creepiest and unexplainable incident we've ever encountered during our times of fishing. It was a Saturday night, and I remember we sailed further out to sea to try and catch up bigger fish like swordfish. We eventually did end up catching some bigger fish, but not the swordfish we hoped for. I was up on top of the boat with the spotlight to see if the light could reveal some fish on the surface of the water while my dad fished below. For some reason, I turned the spotlight to the right of me towards the open water. I was looking out at the water when I noticed something pop out from beneath the waves. I immediately jumped up, hoping it was a swordfish, but after I shined the light towards its direction, it went back under. However, not even 10 seconds later, it came back up again in the area where the light was shining. What I saw not only shocked me, but also horrified me. It was hard to see, but it looked to be a woman I'd say in her mid-20s, and she was staring directly at me. Her long black hair covered part of her face, but her head was the only thing I could see. At this point, I could confirm that it definitely was a woman. She was not a pleasant-looking woman in all aspects. To give her better description based on her appearance, she looked similar to the girl from The Ring, at least from my perspective. She was about 5 feet away from the boat, staring at me with a look I can't even begin to describe. It was a devilish, evil look that was very unsettling, which made my skin crawl. I tried to tell my dad about what I had witnessed, but he said that it wasn't possible for a young woman to be out in the middle of the ocean by herself in the open water. Looking back, I don't blame him, but I know exactly what I saw that day. You will never convince me of anything else.
Yeah, not for me. Oh my gosh,
It was mid-September of 2014, and I just recently bought my own boat that I had been saving up for years. The boat was nothing big
People
or
on
anything
boats, huh?
special. It was just your average fishing boat you'd see on the water with 2 or 3 people. I've been a fisherman in the North Atlantic for most of my life and absolutely enjoyed it. It was calm and relaxing, and this may sound strange to some people, but I actually liked waiting for a bite or a nibble. On top of that, fishing was my job and I got paid pretty good weekly to at least make a living. At the end of the month, I was ordered to go out a little further to sea to catch a specific type of fish that's mainly located in one specific area at a certain time, around 8 p.m. to be exact. It wasn't a hard task. You mainly catch around 3 or 4 of these fish, and if you were lucky you'd maybe catch around 10. One night, I was on my usual route to that area to try to get a decent catch. I stopped my boat to eat my dinner when, all of a sudden, I heard something bopping in the water. It was pretty much dark out by now, but I looked out in the distance and noticed a small motorboat with no one in it. It was strange to see something like this, especially this far out at sea. The current kept pushing the boat toward my boat, and it eventually did, creating a big thud. I looked at it and was horrified as to what I saw. There was a horrible smell coming from it, and that's when I noticed dark red liquid stains smeared on the sides of the boat. I'd also like to mention that this boat had what looked like to be Japanese writing on it, which was also very strange. There was also some fishing gear and some personal belongings scattered. I kept staring at it, wondering as to why it was just abandoned. The freakiest part is that what actually happened to the people or person who was on this boat. The smeared red liquid and the scattered belongings just didn't make sense to me. However, What I do know is that whatever happened to the people on that boat wasn't at all good.
That was it? Oh. Okay. Whew. Oh my gosh. Okay. We survived. I did good. I think I did pretty good that time. Some of them were pretty terrifying. But I think I did pretty good. I survived. See, I'm making progress. I just have to start listening or watching or whatever more scary videos, because like I can watch a scary movie all day and be fine. I watch one of these videos and I'm stressed out and it's ridiculous. I don't get it. But yeah, I'm thinking about trying this new thing out. I don't know. I'm gonna try it out, but I'm thinking about doing a like uploading schedule. I know, cause I don't know. I know I'm a flop, and I try to upload, but like maybe by putting myself on an uploading schedule, you know, you'll see more of me. I don't know. So I'm thinking about Sundays, Wednesdays, and then Fridays or Saturdays. Not really too sure which one. Maybe both. Who knows? But I think like putting myself on a schedule will like, you know, help me get my life together more, and you'll see more of me, you know, instead of me just randomly uploading, which is also fun because you never know. It's kind of a fun surprise to like, you know. But yeah, I think I might try that out, see how that goes for me. But yeah, if you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because like I said, you know, it's always a pleasant surprise when I upload, right? So what better way than to, you know, get that notification when I upload, so, you know, you can see me more often. And if you want to see me more than that, you know, you can always follow me on Twitter or Instagram. They'll be linked down below. I've been getting better at uploading there too, because, you know, I just, you know, I'm just one of those people, right? But yeah, I guess I shall see you guys in my next video.